In Coronation Street, evil teacher Megan Walsh is currently awaiting trial for grooming teenager Will Driscoll. We know that actor Beth Nixon is bowing out of the ITV soap later this year, but before that happens, the show is throwing a few spanners into the works. One of those is the arrival of Megan's mother Janine, who is set to light a few fireworks as soon as she arrives. Played by musical theater star Melissa Jacques, Janine will be clashing with members of Will's family pretty much from her first scene. Speaking to TV Times magazine, Eva Price actor Catherine Tilsley said, "When Janine reveals who she is, it's like a red rag to a bull for Ben." Janine tries to apologize on behalf of Megan. She's bewildered as to why this happened. But sometimes people grow up in normal, loving families and things go extremely wrong. That's what Eva sees. She's like, it's not Janine's fault. Then you've got Maggie, who's like, well, Megan has learned this behavior from someone. Speaking of mothers, the return of Will's mum Melanie means that Eva has to step back and not interfere when Melanie disagrees with Ben over whether Will should take to the stand in court or testify via link. It's really hard for Eva because she loves Ben's boys, Tilsley added, explaining that Eva has first-hand experience of how Will is likely too vulnerable to take to the stand, but has to leave it to the actual parents to sort that out. The actor also touched on the worry that if this trial doesn't end with Megan getting sent down, she will dig her claws right back into Will, and no one would be able to stop her. The cobbles of Coronation Street are set to shake once again as the long-running ITV soap confirms two major new casting additions that will drive one of its darkest and most emotionally charged storylines in years. Megan and Will, two seemingly ordinary newcomers to Weatherfield, are about to become the center of a storm involving betrayal, hidden identities, and a past that refuses to stay buried. Producers have teased that this isn't just another arrival on the street. It's the beginning of a slow-burning psychological unraveling that will test friendships, destroy trust, and force long-standing residents to question everything they think they know about their neighbors. A calm arrival with hidden intentions. At first glance, Megan appears to be exactly the kind of character Weatherfield often welcomes with open arms. Charismatic, articulate, and quick to make an impression, she arrives claiming to be starting fresh after a difficult breakup and a failed business venture. She settles into the community with surprising ease, quickly befriending familiar faces and even volunteering at local events. But beneath her composed exterior, Megan is carrying something far heavier than she lets on. Early hints in the storyline suggest she is not simply escaping her past, she is running from it. And worse still, she may not be alone. Enter Will. Will is introduced as Megan's close companion, though the exact nature of their relationship is deliberately kept ambiguous. Are they partners? Siblings? Or something far more complicated? The showrunners have refused to clarify, only stating that their connection is the key to everything that follows. Will is quieter than Megan, more watchful, and unsettling in his restraint. While Megan integrates into the community, Will lingers at the edges, observing, calculating, and occasionally stepping in with an unnerving precision that suggests he knows more than he should. A dark past begins to surface. What starts as subtle unease soon escalates into something far more sinister. Longtime viewers will notice that small details begin to connect Megan and Will to a series of unexplained events that occurred months earlier in Weatherfield, events that were quietly brushed aside but never fully resolved. A missing financial ledger from Underworld. A suspicious fire scare near a storage unit. A series of anonymous messages sent to residents that were dismissed as pranks. At the time, each incident seemed isolated. Now, with Megan and Will in the picture, they begin to look disturbingly connected. One of the most chilling aspects of the storyline is how normal everything appears on the surface. Megan is often seen laughing in the cafe. Meanwhile, Will's behavior becomes increasingly difficult to ignore. Residents begin to notice items going missing, strange coincidences, and an unsettling feeling of being watched. At first, it's dismissed as paranoia. But when a major incident rocks the street, one that leaves a beloved character injured, the suspicion can no longer be contained. The question shifts from what are Megan and Will hiding, to how far are they willing to go to protect it. Producers promise a slow-burn psychological thriller. In a statement, the Coronation Street production team revealed that Megan and Will's arrival marks a shift toward a more psychological, tension-driven narrative. This storyline is about trust and perception, one producer explained. Meghan and Will don't arrive causing immediate chaos. They arrive charming, helpful, and seemingly harmless. The danger is discovering who they really are and why they've come to Weatherfield at all. They added that viewers should expect layered revelations, with secrets unfolding gradually rather than through sudden twists. Every answer leads to another question, the statement continued. And by the time the truth is revealed, it may be too late for some of our residents. A relationship built on secrets. One of the most compelling elements of the storyline is the dynamic between Meghan and Will themselves. While they appear aligned, subtle cracks begin to show as pressure mounts. Meghan seems increasingly desperate to maintain control of their situation, while Will appears less concerned about blending in and more focused on completing a hidden agenda. There are moments where their shared understanding breaks into tension, glances that linger too long, whispered arguments behind closed doors, and disagreements about how much risk they should take. It becomes clear that whatever brought them to Weatherfield, it is something they cannot easily walk away from. And perhaps most intriguingly, the show hints that Meghan may not be the one in control at all. The street will never be the same. As the storyline builds, the residents of Coronation Street find themselves drawn into a web of suspicion, fear, and fractured relationships. Alliances will shift. Friendships will collapse. And one shocking revelation promises to change the dynamic of the street forever. By the time Meghan and Will's true intentions are exposed, the fallout will extend far beyond their own storyline, affecting multiple families and reshaping the emotional landscape of Weatherfield. For fans, this marks the beginning of a gripping new era, one where danger doesn't arrive with sirens or shouting matches, but with a smile, a handshake, and a perfectly rehearsed cover story. And in true Coronation Street fashion, no one is ever just who they seem to be. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Coronation Street Scoop News Update.